So I'm here with Brady Sherman, and how are you doing, man?
Dude, I'm fantastic. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. It's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah,
Can
for
you
sure.
just briefly introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yeah. My name is Brady Sherman. I am the CEO of microMansions, and I'm a co-founder with Abby Nelson.
Okay.
Fortunately, she couldn't be here, but yeah, that's me. And I'm also an entrepreneur, so I
Yeah.
do a lot of things, and it's
Sure.
fun, and it's my art, my
Yeah.
painting. I can't paint, so I
Neither can
entrepreneur.
I.
That's
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
no,
it's a good one.
right? Yeah.
Um, so what's your background? Are you from Wichita? Where'd you go to school? That kind of thing.
I'm actually from McPherson,
Okay.
just north. I went to Central Christian College in McPherson,
Very cool.
small, tiny,
Yeah.
small school. And then, yeah, I'm here now in Wichita. Been here since I interned at Coke,
Yep.
2013. It's been a while,
Yeah.
13, 14, I can't remember. Interned, co-op, full time, did
Very cool.
the intern circle,
Yeah.
and then full time. So, yeah, I've played golf in college. I like to fish.
Nice.
I love to eat a little too much.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Especially during the quarantine, gaining
Yeah, it's a
pounds.
problem. It's a problem. No one likes that. Yeah.
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 So what? Sorry, you might have mentioned it, but what was your major in? What was your background?
Um, yeah, no, I didn't. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I had, let's see, I had one major in business management,
Okay.
another major in entrepreneurship, and then a minor in accounting.
Nice.
Because I can't be an accountant, the minor for sure.
Sure.
And then I always fascinated with marketing and psychology,
Yeah.
which I think psychology is one of the most important things of business, especially an entrepreneur, especially if you're going to sell
Right.
something,
Absolutely.
has to understand. So I'm a nerd, to put it bluntly. So I've always just been curious. I am emphatically curious about too many things.
Yeah. But it's all,
Um,
all rolls up to make a good, balanced entrepreneur, though. That's cool.
yeah. Well, yeah, I think so.
What was so when did you leave Coke and what was the reasoning behind that? Just going more the entrepreneur path then?
Yeah, so I left 2017
Hmm.
in April. I've been 3 years. Yeah, 2017. So I interned there, and
Hmm.
I was a business analyst. I was in a strategy innovation group, which was I've learned, holy cow. If I put it this way, I learned so much from them, and I got beat up.
Hmm.
Smart guys. They know who they are. They're really smart guys, and they're fun to be with. And I learned more than I could ever imagine. And from that, I've always, even my boss told me, he's like, I was flipping a house at the time, and he's just like, "You're an entrepreneur." I was like, "Yeah, you're right." So then I transferred another role, and was doing some work there, helping people out. And I kind of, it's Gary V and
Oh yeah.
Tim Ferriss
Yep.
mixture of that. And I've always been a financial guy. Like I've always been
Sure.
pretty numbers. My brain works in numbers,
Hmm.
which doesn't always work for like remembering sentences or words. But
Hmm.
besides that, so I kind of I did pretty well, flipping a couple of houses. I saved a lot.
Hmm.
So I kind of made an educated, calculated bet and said, while I was flipping the house, this kind of segues good.
Hmm. Good.
This is perfect. I Abby, we're
Hmm.
one of our first dates. She said we were work. She was helping me with the house. She's a designer,
Okay.
professional designer. She also worked at Coke,
Hmm.
and she said, "Hey, I have this idea." And I was like, "Okay, I get this a lot. Like, okay, cool. What is it?"
Go to
And
the
she goes,
entrepreneur guy with the idea.
yeah. And I was like, "Hey, what is it?" She goes, "I want to design these tiny houses." And she showed me the design. I was like, "That's pretty cool." And so we started talking about it. I said, and she just wanted to draw them up for people. I said, what if we build them? What if we had a community of those? And she was like, okay, yeah, no. And she started going upon it, like, yeah, we have this community, we
Right.
could do this, and we do it, and and that kind of started the whole. Okay, I've saved up. There's a time to leap, and you think about it, and you're like, when's the right time?
Right.
It's never.
Right.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, I got it. Yeah, I'm gonna hop out, and we're gonna make this thing a reality. We're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
I think there's a market. I did the whole numbers nerdy,
Sure.
like, oh, based on the demographics and the
Right.
salary ranges. Yeah. So I did all that nerdy stuff to say, I think there's a potential. And then since then, we've been testing it and seeing what people want.
Yeah.
And so it was Abby's. She's a designer,
Hmm.
obviously, designed the houses.
Yeah, they're
Um,
sweet. They're cool.
she did, yeah, she did a really good job. I'm the business behind it,
Okay.
so it was her idea, and she was just like, this is cool. And I said, there's a way to make money here. I'm pretty certain.
Hmm.
So at the time, I sold a house on Facebook with a video
Okay.
that I was flipping,
Yeah.
and people thought I was crazy. Like, what are you doing? I didn't have a realtor, and sure enough, about 40 days later, someone sent me a message, said, I saw your video. I would like to buy your house.
That's
And I was
cool.
like, what? Really?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that video, one was kind of embarrassing, but it is on the internet forever. So if I can find a way to delete it here shortly,
I'll make sure to
I'm
link it
going.
up into the show
Okay,
notes.
perfect. Yeah. So it was, yeah, it was just super. I was super excited to even have the opportunity to work at Coke. I mean, geez, just to get in the door was awesome.
Yeah.
I learned just an absolute ton, and it was intense. I mean, it is an intense place to work, but it is a place to, it kind of shaped my beliefs and how business and adding
Yeah.
value, like that's the day one, and that's what we want for our customers. Is I'm not going to do something that's going to be worse off than
Right.
where you're at today. I want to quote Charles. So business is determined by economic means and not political means.
Yep.
Right. So by adding more value to someone, you then get profit.
Yep.
Whereas political means you're not doing it in the right way.
Right.
So that's when me and Abby have the same thoughts. Why we both work at Coke, and we see that is, you learned. The coolest thing about Coke is you learn more about yourself,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, okay, there's all these
Hmm.
principles that I can apply to my life, and the economic thinking. I was very fortunate to be in the group I was in, because it was very data driven.
Hmm.
So I'm with my family. They're like, oh, let's do this. And I said, well, what value does that add? Gets
They're like,
annoying.
come on, man. Let's just have some
they're
fun.
like, yeah. So I mean, unfortunately, that's like how that is how my brain operates, and I've always been kind of different, and now I know, like, oh, okay, well, yeah, if it doesn't make sense, then you can't do that. Which learning how to tell people that was a big thing.
Yeah.
I was terrible at. I'm still bad. I'm still working on it. Be like, what if there's another way to do that?
Right.
So that's yeah, but it's been fun, and
Yeah.
Coke, that place is awesome, and I would go back if I wasn't it's in my blood, entrepreneurship, just how I think and work and operate. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it was fun. It was a really cool experience.
That's awesome, man.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I've been there since June of 15. So it's been,
Oh, nice.
yeah, so it's been, I mean, since I graduated from Wichita State. So I get everything you're saying. I get it. So
You got it.
for
Okay,
sure, yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, makes sense.
I thought I saw that. I was like,
Yep.
where are you at? FHR?
I'm with Flint Hills. I was with Coke Pipeline, and then we rolled back
Okay.
up into like the pipeline group under Flint Hills. So
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been 37 West. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
I know all the ins and outs. Yep.
Oh yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Oh man. Oh, that I do miss.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
gonna
good
lie.
stuff. Taco Day on Fridays can't be
Oh,
beat.
man, I'm not gonna lie. I had $11 meal once for lunch, and it
You
was
can.
2 pizzas. It was a lot.
I was gonna say it's subsidized, so it's a pretty good deal. So $11 gets you a lot of food. So
It was a bad mistake.
yeah, yeah. So kind of getting more into the tiny home. So you guys started micromansions. Like, how's that been going? What's the process been from kind of ideation? You guys talked about it a little bit, but go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So we were just kind of throwing around. Abby came to me, was like, "Hey, I think it's a good idea," and I kind of started to think of how to monetize it. And we were really fortunate to. It was serendipitous, to say the least. An investor happened to talk to Abby, and she was like, "Hey, I have this." I said, "Hey, if you're going to talk to this guy, you can't pitch him. He's going to pitch him your idea."
Yeah.
And sure enough, he was like, "That's cool." And she's like, "Well, I don't understand the business stuff, so Brady will come and we'll talk about it." And he was in,
That's
which is
awesome. Yeah, I
like,
was about to ask if you had investors, so that's cool.
yeah. So we got one investor, and I mean, that's all we have. So it's me, Abby, and the investor.
Hmm.
And Abby and I have ownership of the business,
Sure.
and it was it was odd because usually, right, entrepreneur, you're going to have Jeff Bezos, who most people don't know, used to work at like the New York Stock Exchange, right?
Hmm.
He was a money guy, and he got turned down by people after people after people,
Right.
right? So yeah, very fortunate, just out of the gate, right?
Yeah.
So and even yeah, it was crazy. So, and I was excited because I was like, okay, here's I have some experience, flipping houses. My family did a lot more than I did, but I was like, okay, here's how I think we're gonna like monetize it. Here's a cost basis. Here's this, and this, and so where I was like, but I want to mitigate your risk, right? So, big one
Right.
is what's his name, Richard Branson.
Yeah.
His was I start Virgin airplane business. He talked to Boeing and said,
Yeah. Yeah.
"Hey, mitigate my risk. If this doesn't work, I want to give back the plane." So essentially, we have the same philosophy, right? And we did this a lot at Coke. Was how do we validate an ideology or a test? One sec,
You're
you
good.
just went away.
I'm still here.
You still there?
I'm
Okay.
still here.
All right, we're
Don't
good.
worry.
All right, we're good. So, how do we validate the market? And,
Hmm.
and one thing I actually teach WSU, it's called e-launch,
Oh yeah.
is customer validation,
Hmm.
right? Because you don't want to spend, I always give this my example. You can have a really good idea. You want to manufacture, say, a table, right? You're going to have to spend $5-10 million in the whole to make a plant, hire people, hire sales team, hire HR, right? And
Right.
you hope it works out,
Right.
right? That's the conventional way. Well, you don't have to do that today with the technology we have.
Right.
You can, put that and say, here's this idea, here's how we're going to mitigate it. So we put together that strategy and we said, hey, we could do this tomorrow and spend a lot of money and just go throw houses out there, but we don't want to do that.
Right.
We want to validate the market. So for the last 2 years, there's been some hurdles with approvals and saying the word tiny home. So our homes by code is a normal house,
Right.
right? We built it. There's full size appliances. There's stairs. Or everything is code.
Sure.
We use a different type of product for our wall system that's actually much more durable. 3 to 5 times the shear strength.
Hmm.
3 to 5 times the reduction of thermal bridging, so more energy efficiency.
Hmm.
So you'll save 40 to at least 40% on your energy bill by using our wall system.
Wow.
There's
Yeah.
less waste on site. They go up quicker. So doing that is different.
Right.
So people, they're just different. So most, code, most builders, most city officials, they see it as, it's not like, oh no, we hate it. It's just like, oh, it's different. So it
Right.
takes time to
Yeah.
get through
Makes
those.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
what is that material?
it's called a SIP, structurally insulated panel.
Okay. Very cool. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, and they've been around since like the 40s, and there's always different iterations. You have EPS, extruded polystyrene. You have polyurethane.
Sure.
You've got, it's a pretty large
Yeah.
span of
Yeah.
items that it covers. But so we saw a kind of a void in the market, potentially, right? We're still testing it.
Right.
For smaller homes, right? So in Europe, it's really common.
Right.
You have mini splits, you have a small home, you travel more, right? It's less about working 90 hours a week. It's more about living life.
Right.
And based on kind of, you look at the data of, this gets nerdy, commodities versus experiences,
Yeah.
right? With the advent of the technology of the internet, you have this kind of flattening, right? Tim Ferriss, big one, flattening of the globe. Commodities now are getting super cheap,
Right.
but experiences are going up in price in the last like 10 to 15 years. So you look at it and say, okay, that means if I'm the experience business, if I'm Disney, loving it, right?
Right.
That's cool. If I'm the commodities business, okay.
Right.
But more importantly, what does that mean? It means, and maybe this could be another Instagram cause of this. People want to travel more.
Yeah.
People want to experience things.
For sure.
So we were like, okay, I think minimalism has become, there's a big push to minimalism.
Yep.
And that's what I mean, that's the biggest thing. Abby and we try to have as little things. Like I have 2 pairs of jeans and 3 pairs of slack. Like
Right.
we try to minimalize. And that's the thing. Like we'll have a small house. Like this is really cool. This is what we do. Let's see if other people like it.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
We're not, yeah, that's just how, which I'm excited about. But all that shift, right? So from minimalism to commodities and experiences, okay, what, do people want that?
Yeah.
And it is kind of, I've been hugged in the streets, saying people are like, I want to sell all my stuff. I want to buy a micro mansion. And I tell them, don't sell all your stuff. Wait, don't do that. But it is kind of, we want to offer a high end product, which, we have our finished package is something you'd find in a $400,000 or $500,000 house. Our siding's got 15 to 30 year no fade warranty. Everything in the floors got lifetime warranty on wear. It's the cabinets are commercial. They're really good, solid cabinet. Our windows and doors are from Europe, and they're crazy
Sure.
well built. Yeah, just incredible. So we really thought that was we want to make the house buying experience. This is weird, but we want people to say, "I love buying a house."
Right. Yeah. It can be a pain. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And we're like, because I've bought a house,
Yeah.
one that's not new, and I've had family members and friends who've built new houses, and wow, they get upset, right? Like even down to moving, right?
Right.
So in our development out east, we want to include moving costs. So you literally we'll give you boxes. You put your stuff in boxes. Movers come, pick it up, put it in your new house, and you're done.
That's
There's
cool.
no getting a truck,
Right.
There's no hoping your brother-in-law lets you borrow.
Calling somebody, hey, I'll buy you some beer, pizza.
Yeah, beer and pizza, let's go, right? So no more of that. So, and Abby did a really good job of, we call it the 11-star experience that Airbnb used, to validate like what is good, okay, what's great, what's exceptional, and we see that as an opportunity to say, here's what's exceptional. Right? We want to provide this to our clients to show them like it's a different. There can be good. This can be a good thing, right? This can be. Abby's extremely good. She's also a professional designer, but she also is a project manager at Coke.
Yeah,
she's very good, very good at what she does, and coordinating and talking with our subs and letting when we have the customers in development is letting them know what's going on. Just being transparent and saying, hey, here's the drywall guy is sick, so he won't be there till tomorrow, right? So here's the status of your house, and just being trying to fill and add as much value as we can to allow the customer to truly have a great experience and have a solid, long-lasting product. Because honestly, people are like, well, why is it a tiny house? Our range, what we're shooting for, we're still quantifying our numbers for that house downtown, 75 to 100, right? Is the range we're projecting right now. And then the cost of the land, $5 to $10,000 per lot. And then only upcharges. All your finishes there's 3 or 4 series that you can pick from. Those are all included. Only upcharges is like furniture, appliances, and landscape, which is conventional.
Right.
But we didn't want to add on these like, well, if you want this color cabinet, $7 more.
Right.
So it's an all-in-one package. So it simplifies that process. But we see it as something that, it's just exciting to.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, to do that and hope for them to kind of realize there's another way it doesn't have to suck.
Right. Absolutely. So so you mentioned you're building one downtown. Is that kind of a trial one? Is that for you guys, or what's the story behind that one?
So that one's it'll be a model home. So we'll have, we're probably in June, first week of June, we'll have a block party.
Yeah.
So everyone can come. Hopefully this whole Corona thing will be gone. Hopefully, yeah. Because then we want to have a block party, have yard games, get people through it and see it.
That's a really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're excited. That's going to be a fun. Food trucks, of course. I might just have pizza everywhere. I'm not sure yet. I love pizza. So if Nola's, if you're listening, we would love a sponsorship. No, I think so. Yeah, it's kind of a trial. We wanted to get a model home up so people can see it. We've already had people reserve lots in the home base development out east, and we've had people who are like, "This is cool,
Yeah.
but I just want to see it," which I'm
Sure.
like, "Hey, totally
Yeah.
understandable." And it just took exponentially longer than we were expecting.
As everything
Even
does.
yeah, I remember someone telling me like double it the time and
We had
double the
a
price.
right. We had a rule in college. I was an engineer, mechanical engineer,
Oh,
and so
okay.
we had the rule of pi. If you thought it was going to take an hour, multiply it times pi, and it's going to be at least 3 hours to do
Dude, that
whatever
is
it is. So
100%
it's
true.
really true.
Oh
So
my, that is, I like that. The pie
hmm
roll. I like it. I mean, I like pie too, but the pie roll,
right.
that's good.
So where in
No,
town is
cool.
that east development?
In the big one,
Yeah, like the full development. Where are you guys doing
full
that at?
development.
Yeah.
So that's 143rd and Harry,
Okay. Yeah.
which we still haven't broken ground, right? We still want to get the model home
Right.
up, which was supposed to be a pie
Sure.
time ago. Yeah.
Right.
Now I want pie. So yeah, that was kind of, and we really just want there's a lot of people that just a misperception of, you think tiny home, you think cheap,
Right.
you think tiny home. It's not, right?
Right.
And we want to show people, be like, hey, this is not it's just not what you're thinking, right? Which is just, that's totally fine,
Right.
right? People have, that's totally okay. We just want people to kind of see it, because you can build a cheap house,
Yeah.
like that is totally, that's not what we do, right?
Right.
That's because it's not long-term value, right? We're not here for the short term, we're here
Right.
for the long. And if we build something that's going to last a long
Yeah.
time, that's our whole
For
that's our
sure.
whole idea.
So why did you pick that area? Were there other areas you looked at, or what was the benefit or reasoning behind picking that area at 143rd?
No, that's a good question. So our there's land. Our investor had
Mm-hmm.
land that was available. So we're like, okay. But we were really thinking, what we wanted a nice, quiet area that was easily accessible to like the highway,
Yeah.
right? It
Mm-hmm.
isn't downtown,
Right.
because the downtown's great. Obviously, we're building one in Delano, but the scale at which, I mean, you can have like two houses or
Yeah.
three houses. We saw as a value to have the community out there,
Right.
because it'll be a community of people, right? And people who are, who's travel from home. We've had people in Texas reach out to us and they
That's
say,
cool.
"Hey, I
Yeah.
work from home. I would love to live there. It sounds awesome."
Right.
So we saw it as multiple. It's quiet. It's
Yeah.
it's a safe area, but it also allows the community, because it'll be kind of interesting. Our demographic um, is kind of a mix of millennial and
Right.
retiree.
Right.
So, and we've kind of gotten away from intermixing those cultures, if you could say it, those type of people. Because man, I always love learning like stories, some
Mm-hmm.
stories of like, hey, this is how this happens. Because best thing is like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that, right? Or
Right.
oh, I should do that. That's a really good
Yeah.
idea.
Absolutely.
We think like that could be an opportunity where, like, I always loved, before my grandpa passed, always loved hearing stories, because those are like genuine. You can't find them. You can't manufacture them.
Right.
Like, I remember him playing softball, and they only had like two softballs, right?
Right.
It was some crazy, like, oh, that's so cool. So we were kind of mixing those. I think, based on kind of our demographic, we'll have that kind of mix of that community
Yeah.
that I think will help kind of make the community better.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
it'll be
awesome.
awesome.
Quick side note: I grew up about a mile and a half east of that. I grew up over
Oh,
in one of the street or two streets from Andover Road, right over there. So
oh,
right
really?
down Harry Street. So oh yeah.
Nice. Okay,
So
so you know the
oh
place.
yeah, I know that
You
area
know the
pretty well.
place.
My parents live pretty close over there still. So
Oh, sweet. Okay,
um,
nice.
so how many houses will be in that development area?
Yeah, good question. So that one is 90,
Okay.
and we're looking to do phases: phase one, phase
Yeah.
two, phase three. Which that, and that'll help us. That's why we're trying to get to that price point, is so we build multiple at a time. It saves time, money, all that fun stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, so that'll be 90, and then just the one here in Delano
Right.
will be just a single unit.
Uh-huh.
But once there have been a lot of people interested in the kind of the downtown area, it's just hard because there's
Right.
not a lot of land.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just pulling up your website to look at a couple of houses. They're really cool.
Yeah.
But let's see. Could you, for the people that, and I'll definitely link up the houses and all that kind of stuff, and I'll probably put
Okay.
this conversation on YouTube as well, so I can clip in some of
Cool.
those.
Nice.
But like what's the rough square footage? So they're tiny houses. People, what kind? They might have different perceptions in their head what that looks like. Can you
For
describe
sure.
like how many roughly square footage and kind of like what the layouts are like? And I know there's a couple different models, but roughly what they're like.
Yeah, for sure, sure. So 400 to 800 square foot,
Hmm.
right, is just our base. We're going to do custom in the future, but right now the houses that
Yeah.
we have 5 on the site and 2 more that we need to put up on the site. So 400, 800 square foot. You have kind of a 2 bedroom up, 1 bath to 1 bedroom, 1 bath to 2 bedroom, 2 bath.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
we have one that's like a 3 bedroom, 2 bath coming out.
Sure.
Um, and I think it's just at 800 square foot. But essentially, what you'll have is um, uh, the Smittle, for example, has a attached garage, kitchen, 2 bedrooms upstairs, and a bath upstairs. And that's the one we'll be building
Okay.
uh, in Delano.
Sure.
So that is kind of, I mean, full size, like I said earlier, full size appliances,
Yeah.
full size
That's really
doors.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked us, they're like, so are they little doors that you can't? I was like, no. They're
Little
like,
doors, mini fridge.
yeah. They're like, can you stand up upstairs? I'm like, yeah, it's 8 foot. It's actually more than 8 on some of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a house. It really is, and it's on slab on grade. In the future, we did one in Columbus, and it's got a basement, but it was a custom one, right?
Yeah.
It was not what we're um, going for kind of here. Wichita, we can do it, right? But that's later, like doing
Right.
that kind of stuff. But they're I'm trying to think of another one. The models without an attached garage, so
Hmm.
your Merlin, Burt, which isn't on there, Brady, Malcolm, those are will have a detached garage option in
Hmm.
the lot in the development. And so yeah,
Cool.
it was really cool when we first got the walls up for the house out in Columbus to be in there and just be like, this is, I obviously I'm biased, but I was like, this is amazing. Like
Right.
this
Yeah,
was
that is
like
really cool.
you see it on paper, right? And you can draw it out, but once you stand in it and you're like, oh, this is like a nice apartment. This is a really
Right.
nice apartment, but
Right.
it's yours. Like you own it.
That's really cool.
Um, yeah, so it's cool. We're excited.
Very cool. And you mentioned Columbus. Where is that house at? I know it's not the ones you're doing right now, but where is that one at?
That one's southeast Kansas,
Southeast Kansas. Okay.
south of Pittsburgh.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And why was it?
Um,
Why did you do that one there?
it was personal residence, so it was
Okay.
for Abby actually.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so she did it there, and it was we wanted to validate our processes
Yeah.
and kind of put up a test, right? When you put a
Sure.
test up, and that was there was less process, I guess you'd say, to get
Yeah.
a building permit. It was just
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
hey,
Sure.
yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
we're like, okay, path of least resistance.
Yeah.
We want to validate our
Cool.
idea.
MVP. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Very
perfect.
cool.
Yes.
Um, so where did you mentioned a few of the different names,
Hmm.
Malcolm, Brady, etc. Where did you get each of those names? I think some of them were self-explanatory, but where did you come up with those?
So that was Abby, right?
Yeah.
So that was definitely
Design side.
her. Because I did not, let me put this on record, I did not name one after myself. But and it was the one, she showed it to me, and I was like, that looks really cool. Which one's that? And she goes, it's called the Brady. And
Oh,
I
that's
look at
funny.
it, and there's nothing but windows. And I was like, I don't know how to take that. I'm not
That's
sure.
really funny.
I'm just see through. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that one. And then her teachers, she would obviously talk to this a lot better. The Smittle was her
Mhm.
art teacher.
Oh, cool.
Dunn was her woodworking teacher in high
Very
school.
cool.
Um, and then the Winston, you'll see
Mhm.
that. That's her dog.
Okay.
He's adorable. He's a mini schnauzer,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's pretty much awesome.
For the dog lovers like myself, are these dog friendly houses?
Oh yeah, we haven't tested it with anything bigger than a mini schnauzer, but
Fair. Theoretically.
theoretically, yeah, as long as you don't have a horse, you'll be
Sure.
fine.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's.
So what's the next step for people? So if they're interested, what's a down
Mhm.
payment cost? What does that process look like to get started?
Yeah, for sure. So if you, we always thought like, especially here in Wichita, right? If you want to be out in the development, definitely come to the open house here.
Yeah.
Probably be in June, but you can go online. We're actually one of the first online earnest money deposits,
Yeah. That's
which
really
is
cool.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go on our site, you pick your lot, and then you fill out the information, and you then get transferred to Security First.
Okay.
And then you can put down $1,000 refundable, kind of like Tesla,
Yeah,
thousand
exactly.
dollar
Yep.
refundable for your, and that locks in your lot.
Hmm.
And through that process, you'll pick your house, which of course can change because we'll have new models and stuff.
Sure.
And then you will then reserve your lot, and you'll
Hmm.
reserve your place in line, kind
Yeah.
of. And it's pretty. We try to make it as simple as possible. Especially with the earnest money. I didn't even know that wasn't a thing to
Hmm.
do online earnest money.
Sure.
So
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
yeah, so that was kind of cool. So we're one of the first. I don't know in Kansas, but one of the
Sure. Yeah.
first. Yeah. So
Very cool.
yeah, but simple process. $1,000
Nice.
refundable.
Yeah, and I'll
Yeah,
link up the website and everything like that, social media accounts
perfect.
and all that kind of stuff. But I did have a question. So I
Yes.
know, was it just east of that or just south? There's a school,
Yes.
right? And then just east, pretty much, or across from the school, there's a really nice neighborhood, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So has there been any pushback about you guys building houses that are 100,000 or less,
Hmm.
bringing the value down of that area? Does that make sense? Like for real
Yeah.
estate, they look at comps in the area and that kind of thing. Has there been any pushback like that?
There
Yeah.
has been, and which is understandable,
Right.
right? So if you say tiny house because of HGTV,
Right.
people have a skewed perception,
Right.
right? Small is cheap, like yeah, it's a. So yeah, there definitely has been, and we just want to. I mean, honestly, if they want to come out and see the house when it's built,
Right.
we're more than happy. They're more than
Sure.
welcome. Um, but and that's kind of the thing of our goal wasn't to devalue because I mean,
Right.
if you look at a
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So if you look at a comp usually is equivalent. So if you have a five
Right.
bedroom house, you're not going to take a two-bedroom house. That's
Right.
200 square foot. But our cost per square foot is roughly about the same as a nice new built house.
Sure.
So our thought was, oh, okay, so we're going to bring in these really nice on the lower end of the price point
Right.
just by the sheer of how big it is. But then we were really nice. Oh, this will improve the neighborhood
Right.
because there are some older houses just north
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
our development, and not to bash on them at
Yeah.
all, but they're just older, right? So we wanted to provide a really high end product, really high end materials, and not a lot of waste. So it's just probably a misunderstanding, which is
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
totally understandable, right? We live in America. We can do that. It's
Yeah.
awesome,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So we think that is a just misunderstanding, to say the
Sure. Yeah.
least.
And I'm
And
sure once they
we,
see the house, whether they go to the open house or once you guys start building, they'll get the idea. But yeah,
yeah, yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because we don't. I mean, that's our last. Like I said earlier, like that's the last thing we do is we want to decrease the value.
Right.
We
Exactly.
want to make the community better, right? If we build in town, we
Yeah.
think it'll help liven it up and put more money downtown. So that's our goal, right? We
Yeah,
always
for
want
sure.
to.
Cool. Do you have any other details about the micro mansion you'd like to talk about before we kind of move on to the next section? We
That was
covered
a
quite
really
a
good
bit,
question.
but
Shameless plug time. Doors and windows, I'm pretty excited about. Those are from Europe. They are hefty.
yeah.
And let's see what else. Abby did an absolutely astounding job, obviously on the designs,
Right.
straight up. But then also on the finished packages, she did a really good job. She has some really cool. She's excited. I'm not as much. Sparkle grout.
Okay.
Yep, yeah. She is really excited about that. So everyone, please choose that so I can be pro. Um, let's see what else. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's something that I mean we've been waiting a long time, obviously,
Yeah.
but we believe in kind of the whole lifestyle, having less things,
Yeah.
traveling more, less maintenance on your house, right? New house does
Right.
awesome. It's going to save you electricity costs. Electricity is expensive.
Yeah.
That's probably a big thing. Quick to build and saves on electricity, which is I mean, if you look at a house, right, you look at rent, and one thing a lot of people who rent, they don't tell you is here's rent, but
Right.
you've got X, Y, and Z on top of it. So really your all-in cost is this. Well, we want to help reduce that all-in cost by taking out the largest chunk, which is electricity, and reducing it. So I'm trying to think what else is super fantastic. Yeah, I
No.
definitely just have
Yeah.
people come out and check it out, and we'll definitely make as big as bang as we can, make sure people know about it,
Right. And
and
we'll
do that.
definitely, I mean, promote and support the launch party and all that kind of stuff, so we can
Oh,
get
dude,
as many people that can find out about it as possible. So
you have no idea. I appreciate that. That
yeah,
was
absolutely,
awesome.
for
Thank you,
sure.
thank you.
Yeah. So just to mix it up a little bit, again, stole some of these from Ferris. So,
Okay.
what is something that you often recommend to people, whether it's like a book or a
Mm.
podcast? I mean, you're kind of deep in the entrepreneur life. So, is there anything you recommend to people?
I always tell people that understanding finance, understanding even personal finance or
Yeah.
business finance, even accounting, it can be really boring, uh, is absolutely essential.
Yeah.
Like you just, you can't. I mean, you think about it, we spend 6 months to a year learning about trigonometry, geometry,
Right.
those studies, and we use that hardly ever. We use money every day, right?
Right.
Money's just simply a tool, right? That's
Right.
all it is. But understanding it can help your life immensely.
Yeah.
Um, so that and Tim Ferriss,
Yeah, for
honestly,
sure. Absolutely.
that's Tim Ferriss and Peter Thiel, 0 to 1.
Yeah. Good book.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Do you have a favorite failure in any aspect of your life?
Oh, dude, I have so many failures.
Do you have a favorite?
Favorite. Gosh, what is the best? That's a good question. Um, Oh, public speaking. I was used to not be very good.
Hmm.
Obviously, that sentence was terrible. Uh, I remember it was in middle school or high school. I had to go talk in front of someone,
Hmm.
it was a class. I'm not sure. I did awful. I fell flat on my face, and that was like I look back on that because now every once in a while I'll go to my college and give speeches.
Yeah.
I teach the e-launch, right? I enjoy it now, and that failure led me to like realize, say, okay, step back. What do you want to do in life? Okay, you want to do something. You've got to conquer your fears, and this is a fear for you really bad,
Yeah.
like really bad. I remember not even going to a parade where I was supposed to be in there. I fished a lot of tournaments, which is weird,
Hmm.
but I did pretty well. And I was supposed to stand on like the boat or something in front of this parade of like
Sure.
20,000 people. Heck no, I was out. Like,
That's funny. Yeah.
no, I'm done. Yeah. Now I'm the exact opposite. Right. But it really, that failure led me to say, like, it kind of, I remember that and saying, okay,
Sure.
this is a fear. Now you're going to conquer it. Now that's a tool
Right.
that I can use. But yeah, that one's golf is a failure every swing. So, I mean, that's just a
Well,
constant.
the golf courses are closed right now, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What
Yeah.
what was your bridge between fishing, skipping the parade to now? What was your bridge to improve on that for people that might want some tips?
Um,
Just do it.
just there's been a lot more learning and processes applied after that. I think I'm a big Tony Robbins fan.
Yeah. Hmm?
Just I am because I love psychology so much, and just how the brain works. Really, you would be surprised at how powerful your brain is,
Yeah.
right? And really focusing. My biggest thing is questions control our focus, right? Where focus goes, energy flows. So it's not like I'm scared of this. It's what can't I do if I don't conquer this, right? What happens if this is a good thing, right? Like
Right.
what opportunities may come to me if I figured this out, if I went and worked out, let me do that. Right? Those questions, because you can't, I can, you can influence someone, right? But at the end of the day, the person has to influence himself. And I saying you should do this, and it's not going to do anything. But
Right.
saying, hey, what would this mean to you? That's where you can find those lever points and say, okay, like this is everything. I'm going to work until I've had nights at Coke that I
Right.
worked till 11, right? At night, got there at 6, worked till 11. Why? Well, I had to figure this out. Like I had to do
Right.
this, right? So I had to pull levers to say, okay, I'm still here. I'm still working. Um, so yeah, it's definitely ask yourself the questions of what am I missing out on?
Right.
What opportunities could I do? That I think that's the biggest,
Sure.
easiest one to look at.
Absolutely. What is your definition of success?
That's a good question.
These ones are
Uh,
hard. Somebody flipped it on me one time in the middle of this, and I was just like, "Ooh, I don't know if I have an
uh,
answer for that." So,
yeah. It sounds kind of, and you're from that world, fulfillment,
yeah.
right? And Charles, and I always, you always hear these things. You're like, okay, fulfillment. Yeah, no, as success is, as an entrepreneur, right? We kind of get tied into you have to make money, right? You want to be successful and not because more right, money's just a tool. That's all it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's nothing more than that. Um, you want to do that because you want to provide. You want to build a successful business. But success to me is truly like fulfillment. Like I love. I do some consulting. I help other businesses. I love creating. I love crafting. It's fun to add value and then be compensated for it. Right? That's a really fulfilling thing.
Yeah.
And someone saying, "Hey, you did really well. Here's X." Right? And you're like, "Whoa." Like I still remember a compliment, not money, a compliment from someone who'd been at Coke for 30 years, and they said, "You like nailed it. You knocked out of the park. I wish there were more people here like that."
Yeah.
I won't forget that, right? Like
Right.
that's awesome, and it was something I love to do. So I think success really is doing what you love, which sounds kind of like ooh great. Um,
Right.
doing and I think here's something a little bit better. Someone asked me, or I was listening to radio. A guy said, find the one thing that you naturally do better than most people, and then go triple down on that. Right?
Yeah.
Like you just that's your thing. And this is my thing. I like entrepreneurship, and I like the process. That's a big thing. That's the other thing. I love golf because I love the practice. I love the process.
Right.
Was I great? Not always. Hardly ever, right? But I really think yeah, success is fulfillment and finding what truly fulfills you and how you add the most to society, right? And if
Yeah.
that's through building a business and selling it and giving money, or if that's through making people's lives truly better, you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a nurse,
Right.
especially now. So yeah, that's success.
Awesome. That was a really good answer. Can you tell me about a life motto that you live by, or what is some of the best advice that you've received from somebody?
Hmm, that's a good one. Never quit. It seems, yeah, I mean, especially in the entrepreneurship world, like we've had 4, 5 suppliers go out of business while we've started this whole thing.
Right.
Like it, if you've got that vision in your mind and you've tested it economically and made sure it makes sense, right? And I always say that, like, yeah, we do things, but it doesn't make sense. So
Right.
yeah, um, you just can't stop. Like it's tough. It is not easy. I've had bad days. We've all had bad days. It is not easy at all. But having that vision and having that to never stop, you just can't stop, right? If you
Yeah.
want something, you've got to keep going. If you want to lose weight, you've got to keep losing weight. If you don't want to eat all the pizza in one sitting, don't eat all the pizza,
Right.
right? I have that problem
You're
when you
eating all
can't
the
go
pizza.
outside.
Don't stop. Don't
That
quit.
exactly, exactly. So definitely just never give up. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a tough. It is not. This is not a sport for everybody.
Right.
Entrepreneurship is a skill. It's a sport. You're doing it all the time.
Right.
It's really hard to balance family, life, work. It really is. So yeah, you just have to buckle down and grind it out.
Sure. And I think a lot of those, I mean, I think a lot of the answers that I hear on some of those questions come out kind of similar to that. But I think there's a
Mm,
reason some of those sayings like just do it, don't give up, can't stop, like there's a reason those are cliches, is because they are true at the core of it.
yeah,
So
100%.
What is a habit that you have developed over the past few years that's most improved your life?
Focus. I'm terrible at it. That's why I have to keep doing it. There's a lot of studies. If you read Ferris, you know
Hmm.
this. Monotasking is the new superpower,
Yeah,
right? If you do
I'm
one
awful at
thing,
that. Yeah,
I'm so bad, right? I have to work at it every day. Like I have to literally move my phone in another room.
right.
Like it's really hard, but it's really the efficiency gain. I read a study, and I put together like a one pager while I was working at Coke on the time lost by answering emails when they pop up.
Right.
It takes 30 minutes to get back on task. So your truly productive year was like 560 hours or something, just terrible. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, like I
Sure.
do that, right? You're like, oh man. So yeah, definitely monofocus is
Yeah.
because it's just tough though. I work on it
What
every day.
what tips or tricks do you have for people to try to improve their focus or their monotasking?
That's okay. So state and environment are two big things. So right, your state, right? If I said think of the worst time you in your life, right? You get sad, right? And there's
Right.
your sad state. Changing your state, which there's a lot of like triggers you can use, and there's a bunch of
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony Robbins stuff. But state and environment. So there's studies shown that literally just changing the color of the wall or changing where you're sitting, that can change your neuroreceptors to say, oh, okay, this is different. I need to change. So get to a place where you have a good state and it's an environment where you're like, if you like quiet, go quiet, right? If
Sure.
you like loud, go throw on music, right?
Right.
Dancing is a good state change,
Yeah.
right? You can go from sad to happy. Singing, even if it's terrible, is a good state change,
Yeah.
right? It can change your mood. So definitely, society, we put ourselves in these boxes, and they're like, "Oh, you can't be weird. Like you're an adult. You have to be serious now." Dancing like an idiot will change your mood.
Yeah.
Just period, right? And it's I will do it sometimes in public a little too much. So you have to know like there are certain patterns. You're at the age of like 32, your patterns that you have in your life are going to be the same. I mean, you'll just kind of subconsciously go through the same things. You have to break those.
Right.
And if you want to, if you want to focus, I always say change your state and change the environment, and you'll put yourself in that environment, in that state, and saying, now it's time to work. I'm really excited. Ask yourself questions. If I finish this, what does this mean? That's really cool. I want to go
Right.
after that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really helpful. Um, Now I just have a couple more questions, and these are Wichita specific. So, what is your
Okay.
favorite part of Wichita, or what's a hidden gem that you like in Wichita?
Ooh. Hmm. Let's see. I would say I'm biased because I'm a golfer, but can it be a restaurant?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I Il Vicino makes a
Yeah,
great pizza. They make
absolutely.
an even better sauce, like a dipping sauce,
Okay.
and I love that dipping sauce.
Okay.
It's like an olive oil.
Yeah.
Uh, it's awesome. I literally had half a bottle in the last week because I can't move. It's terrible. I'd say that, and yeah, Il
Yeah, that's
Vicino.
perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there anything you wish Wichita had that it doesn't, or what would you improve about Wichita?
Let me ask you this: what do people usually say?
I think overwhelming people have said a cheesecake factory, but
Oh, valid. Okay.
but
Yeah.
other than that, I don't know. I think some people said Top Golf, which is we're getting double the Top Golf soon. It sounds like so
Two
with
top
the
golf.
with the big shots and Top Golf coming. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I think Cheesecake Factory is probably the one I've heard the majority though, which is funny. But
That's awesome. That's
which
American.
there is a place I guess downtown that I haven't had. Maybe you've had, but it's the Wichita Cheesecake Factory and their cheesecake company, something like that.
What?
But it's supposed to be really good cheesecake. I haven't had it yet, but
Oh,
little
actually, I know
plug.
the guy. I think he went through my e-launch course.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, super good
So that's cool.
cheesecake. Nice.
But
Okay.
yeah, other than that, yeah. What's your take?
Um, man, what does Wichita need? I mean, it's pretty well rounded in what it
Yeah,
has. There are a lot of restaurants. Um, man, I don't know. I mean, I don't buy a lot of things. Like I try not to. So the mall's out.
People have also said the ocean, mountains. So,
Okay. Warm weather would be fantastic, like all the time,
yeah,
not just like for
fair.
7 hours and then winter comes. Hard pass on that. No, one thing I would be like would be super awesome would be more tiny houses. I'm just kidding. Shameless plug. Return that one. Dang, I'm trying to think. Because I mean, there's some good pizza places. There's good.
Yeah, we have really good food scene. It's hard to pick something now. We're getting a lot of stuff that we didn't think we'd have before. So,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna have to say Top Golf. It's pretty
yeah,
fun. That was
I
pretty
think
good.
the most obscure one somebody said was I don't know if you're familiar. I think he was on Joe Rogan before, but Kelly Slater
Oh,
has
yeah.
like a surf ranch. And so it's like this, it's in like the middle of Nevada or somewhere, but it's just like a ranch that he can surf on. And it's like $10,000 a day. So rich people go out there and it like generates waves and you can legit surf, but over and over
What?
again consistently. So
That is
something like that would be cool. So
crazy.
maybe that's your next venture. You can look into that. So
Sure, huh? That is an idea.
it's
Joel
pretty cool.
Slater. Okay. Yeah,
But,
that's pretty sweet.
but yeah, so last question, what does Wichita mean to you?
Wichita means uh, entrepreneur. I mean, really, I was an hour north. I didn't know what WSU did for like entrepreneurship and like how built out that program is and how many entrepreneurs are in Wichita.
Yeah.
So I like it blew my mind. Obviously, you've got Charles, right, who's
Right.
built a pretty good business, um, and yeah, Wichita means entrepreneurship. That's really what
Absolutely.
it is.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate you sitting down. This was fun.
Yeah,
We'll have to grab a beer or coffee sometime.
yeah.
Um, where can people find you, or where can people find micromansion stuff?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So, micromansion ICT is Instagram. Micromansions is they may be both Instagram and Facebook. And then you can check us out on our website, micromansionsdesign.com.
Hmm.
And then LinkedIn, same one, micromansions.
Perfect.
Not a lot of those.
Sure. Cool, man.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I will link all of those up. I really appreciate it again. This was fun, but thanks again, Brady.
yeah. Hey, thank you so much. You have a good one. Stay safe.
You as
Don't
well.
want you getting any coughing or nothing going
Stay
on.
away from it. Stay
Stay
inside.
away from it. That's all right.
All right, man.
All right,
Appreciate it.
man.
Have a good one.
Hey, you too. See ya.
See ya.